Hey, how's it going, everyone? Justin again. As always, thanks for watching my channel. Welcome back. I apologize ahead of time for the washer noise in the background. However, it's laundry day and I'm trying to work around family chores as well as create some really awesome creative content for you. Today's discussion topic is going to be, when should you go and use the rent-a-tool program from Home Depot versus actually buying the tool and owning it for however long that tool lasts. Hopefully it's a lifetime, but things happen, things age, things break down over time. Okay, we're gonna talk about it today, but before we do, we're gonna go into the rental area and we're gonna look around and see what kind of rentals they do currently have available. Now, this will not be all of them, as some of them are actually behind the counter. You have to ask the associate and see if they have that tool available for the overall rental, and if they do, they should be able to give you some kind of idea and price. But I think you're going to be surprised that most of the tool rental fees are about the same no matter what it is that you're getting ready to rent. But let's go ahead and dive on into it, and then we'll take a look at how much the product actually costs from Home Depot. Alright, so I'm not sure what some of those things are down there at the bottom, so we're going to go over here and take a look at some of the snakes that they have for if your toilet gets clogged or whatever. You can snake the toilet, snake the drain, etc. Yeah, we're somewhere between 40 and 60 bucks for the day or for 4 hours. There's a cement mixer, a couple other little things, about the same price, about 30 to 50 bucks, somewhere in there. We're looking now at some of the concrete cutting saws, about 40, 50 bucks for 4 hours and 65 for the day. Here's some big dog Makita ones, 55, 78 bucks. I think I forgot to look at those on the shelf. Now we're getting over here to the polishers, so if you want to polish a floor, yeah, about 40 bucks for 4 hours, 57 for the day. Why don't you just rent it for the whole day? It's 17 extra bucks and you don't feel rushed or pressured to finish it. You can take your time and do a good job. Now let's look at the 110 tools. So we got the angle grinder, about 30 bucks, so yeah, 15 bucks for the 4 hours, 26 bucks or something like that for the whole day, 20 bucks for the day. Now we're coming over here, it's 25 for the day, 18 for 4 hours for sanders. Sawzall, what are we looking at here? 34 or 48 for the day. Oh, that's for the table saw, the marble saw down there. I'm sorry, 16 bucks or 23 bucks for the day for the Sawzall. Now we'll come over here, take a look at some of the other things they got going on. I think we're looking at chainsaws and weed whackers next, to be honest. Let's see, weed whackers, yeah, about 40 bucks for the day, 50 bucks for the day, and about 30 or 40 bucks for 4 hours. Chainsaws, same thing, 28 bucks or 50 bucks for the day. They got the 110 and the gas options. Here's some blowers and some other shampooers. Here's a MIG saw that I saw, or a MIG welder that I saw. Lincoln, 50 bucks for the day. So, that's what we saw here. Here's another cutting saw. Now let's go ahead and take a look at what they have for sale and how much. So 54 bucks for lifetime of ownership, or however long it lasts. Here's another one for 80. We found a bigger one up here for 70, or another one for 70, and then the biggest one, the 7-inch one, for 150. So you're paying about a fourth to half the cost to rent that one. Here's 89 bucks for the drill. I think we were looking at 40 bucks or something like that for the day, 30 bucks for the day, so about half the cost, or just under half the cost for drill. Okay, so when is it feasible to rent the tool versus buying it permanently and owning it for a lifetime or for however long it actually lasts? Look, a lot of those tool rental fees that we saw associated with some of the things that you could buy that were on the shelf in the same exact store was anywhere from a fourth to half the cost. I would say I have used the rental program before at Home Depot. I actually rented a coil nailer for a couple of roof jobs. I think it was like 50 bucks for the whole day. I didn't know how many big roofing jobs I was going to do. Most of the smaller ones I wouldn't have rented the gun. I would have just hammered and nailed it. But for the big roof job that I did end up renting it a couple times, and it was 50 bucks for the day. Okay, that nailer was $250 or something like that. I actually ended up finding an open box special and got it for 180 bucks or 200 bucks. I'm not sure. But I think that was what I paid for, was around 180, 200 bucks for it for an open box special. Now, I've had that nailer for a lifetime. I've only used it once, and I loaned it out to somebody and they mistreated the hell out of it. But neither here nor there, it still works, it's still fully functional. But think about the overall price. So 200 bucks, own it for a lifetime, got it with an open box special, but even 250. How many times? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times of use for an entire day, and it would have paid for itself. So some tools you'd want to buy, especially if you're going to be using them frequently enough, outright, so that way you're not paying 50 bucks a pop. Other tools like that saw or the marble saw or some of the other wet saws that we saw there, or polishers, or even some of the shampooers, yeah, I would say probably rent those, because you're not going to want to pay, you know, 300 to 500 bucks and it's 50 bucks for the whole day. So certain things like that, I'd say, hey man, if you're only going to use the one-time deal, rent it for the day, rent it for 2 days, save yourself, you know what, 300 to 500 bucks, you know, depending on how much those machines cost, because they can go up there in price. So if you're gonna rent a big item, I'd say that was the best way of going about it versus buying it. And here's another thing that you guys should think about. If you're not sure that you're gonna like a specific product in action, maybe it's even worth your while to rent it for the day so you can actually try it out for yourself and see if it's something that you actually do want to purchase and own for a lifetime. This way you're not having to pay 250 bucks for a coil nailer. You go out, you use it, you don't like it, it keeps jamming up. You're like, you know, I knew I didn't like rigid, I probably should have gone with something else. If that's how you feel about it, at least you had a chance to rent the tool first, use it in the real world environment, and be like, okay, these are the things I like about it, these are the things I don't like about it. Now you can make your assessment if you want to spend, you know, another 200 bucks or 250 bucks to buy one outright. So I think that's a big feature that a lot of people aren't taking into consideration. Yes, rental prices for some of the 110 volt drills and sawzalls is about half the cost, or pretty close to the same cost as you can find them for on the shelf. Some of the bigger items are like an eighth or a 16th of the cost as the actual machine itself. But trying the tool out itself, like the nailer that I was talking about, it gives you an opportunity of trying it out without having to pull out your wallet and spend everything in it in order to see if you even like the product. So I think that's a huge takeaway here. So those are my thoughts and opinions on when you should rent the tool versus when you should buy the tool. What are your thoughts on the tool rental program at Home Depot? Please feel free to share them down below in the comments. As always, thanks for watching my channel. We'll see you guys next time. Doses.